Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Cover Wars, the podcast where we find you the best covers ever of a particular song. And we also answer the question, are any of these covers better than the original? Joining me, as always, is Seth. Seth, how's it going?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm your co-host, aJaX here, and we also have a very special guest with us today on Cover Wars. Co-host of the We Heart Hater podcast, co-host of the Saturday Night Ladies podcast, regular contributor to the Saturday Night Network, and as a producer, the lifeblood and nucleus of Wacky Notion Productions. It's the one, the only, Deej Barons. Deej, how are you this evening?
A bit flustered, just a lot of weekend stuff to do, but we're looking forward to this all day, so
Great.
I'm very,
Awesome.
very hyped. And no, I can't see the name Seth, I'm thinking,
Nice. Well, it is so great to have you here on the show. I do have to ask you, though, what song will we be covering tonight on
we'll be covering from the album Turnstiles is New York State of Mind by Billy Joel, my absolute all-time favorite artist of everything.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this.
It all comes down to reality.
Cover Wars, the podcast where we find you the top 3 covers of our popular song. We pull from a curated playlist of 20 different versions. We reveal our top 5 favorites, then we battle it out in a cover war, where we reveal what we've determined, culminating in the best cover ever of a popular song.
So your absolute favorite artist is Billy Joel. Great. Okay, we'll get into more of that later, but why this particular song? Why New York State of Mind?
Well, it's one that has definitely been covered quite a bit. I know I also had a bit of resurgence after 9/11. And there's so many, it's just a song that people love and have had inspiration and covered from. I was looking at the other songs, they just didn't really have enough covers because the other alternate I was going to do was Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Orchestra, but there wasn't enough covers to really do a full list. So, but I definitely wanted to do Billy Joel something. It just seemed a really good one. It's just, it's a classic. And it's a classic.
It is a classic. And it wasn't really a single. It got some airplay here and there, but it's just one of those songs that's just known, that everybody loves. Yeah. It's a great homage to the city. So,
well, in my research, how it got a little better known is when Barbra Streisand did a recording of it.
Right.
And that just brought more attention to it.
Superman, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff. So we're just going to get right into our rankings now. For those of you who have not watched the show before, if you're unfamiliar with Cover Wars, go ahead and click on one of the playlists below. We have the YouTube playlist or the Spotify playlist. You can play along at home to choose which one is your favorite cover of the song New York State of Mind. And Deej, since you are our guest this evening, we will go ahead and ask you first. What is your number 5?
Okay, for number 5, we're going with Morgan James.
Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood.
One of the big reasons behind that is Billy Joel is, of course, known for piano. And it was nice to see a guitar take on the song itself. So, and plus she has a really good voice, and I don't want to do just all male artists or anything like that. I just like and there is a jazz bass to New York State of Mind for a slower job. She just upped it up a little bit. Not by much, but just enough. So it's a step. I try to like covers that are not like an exact copy of the original. They have their own little unique flavor to them. And this being acoustic guitar, definitely a different take on it.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great choice. So Morgan James, this was recorded during COVID from an album called Quarantines, Volume 1, released in September of 2020. Morgan, at 92,000 monthly listeners, is an American singer-songwriter and actress who has appeared in numerous Broadway shows. Yeah, I thought this was a beautiful vocal as well. Great take there with the acoustic guitar. The song itself doesn't hold up as well as I would like it to throughout the song, but her voice maintains throughout. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this a lot. So, Seth, what did you think of Morgan James' version?
I just wrote down wonderful vocals over a great guitar, and it's easy to listen to.
Yeah, she has a very sharp texture to her voice too. That really carries it all the way through. So once the music, nothing. The only thing I didn't like about the music is it didn't kind of elevate for me, but it maintained, and her voice just kept the song moving along too.
Yeah.
So I really, really appreciated that. So very nice. Number 5, Morgan James. Seth, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Diane Shure.
Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood.
This is from an album called Deedles, released in 1984 because her nickname is Deedles. She is an American jazz singer and pianist. As of 2015, Shure has released 23 albums and has extended her jazz repertoire to include essences of Latin, gospel, pop, and country. So why Diane Shure at number 5?
I wrote down fun, light, but powerful vocals. Very nice.
All right. Deej, what did you think of Diane Shure?
She was very close to, but she's more top 10. I am familiar with some of her work. It was a very more traditional, almost straight ahead kind of music to music. It was a bit too much like the original, aside from her voice. So it's just that that's my own personal preference. Like you put your own, love the song, but put your own special spin on it.
Yeah, I love the sax that comes in, but the vocals for me are almost kind of too laid back and easy listening for my taste. But she can hit some notes. That the sax for me though kind of overpowers her vocals, where I would like the mix to be a little bit better and her voice to kind of shine through a little bit more. But I love the style that she switches up on at the end, the repetition on singing the title over and over to the fade out. She does something unique and different at the very, very end of the song, where 6 or 7 times where she sings New York State of Mind, specifically different. So I do like that part of the song. So very nice. So we have Morgan James and we have Diane Shure. So are you ready for my number 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but am I? I don't know. My number 5 is Rex Orange County.
'Cause I don't have any reason.
This was from Live at Radio City Music Hall, released in September of 2020. Rex Orange County, at 17.3 million monthly listeners, is a multi-platinum British singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist. His music has been described as a bright blend of hip-hop, jazz, and bedroom pop. I thought it's just such a unique and original take on this classic. Of course, it was performed in New York City, and just an incredible stylized, beautifully played and sung version of the song. He has this just woke up rasp, I think, that's kind of hard to duplicate. It is one of those that's kind of like an acquired taste. You'll either love it or hate it. I loved it. The crowd is so into this performance. Obviously, they're there to see him. But I think they just add such an element to this performance. And I think if it wasn't live, if it was a studio version, I might not have liked it more. But I fell in love with this. So, Deej, what did you think of Rex Orange County?
His voice actually kind of reminds me of Rufus Wainwright. So a very similar kind of, a different kind of rasp, but more of in this case, a Canadian rasp, since he is a Canadian. And I don't know, just, not because the live version isn't quite a factor into it. It's just, I just didn't quite connect to it the way I did with others with instrumentation, I guess.
No, it makes sense. I mean, he isn't from New York, so he doesn't have that one-on-one connection. Seth, what did you think of Rex Orange County?
I simply wrote down youthful but nice piano.
Very good, yeah. All right, so we've got a different array of artists adorning our 5s. We'll see if we have any matches going into our 4s. Deej, what is your number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is Leon Russell.
I'm in a New York state of mind.
Speaking of rasp, here are some good old classic bluesy rasp.
For sure. Legendary, Leon.
I love that they started the whole big band thing, and then they went into a slightly more mellow thing and went back to the big band on the interstitials between the choruses and the verses and all that. I'm always love a stand-up bass. The use of a flute instead of a saxophone was a neat take on it, and just went to sort of a big band jazzy, but the drums are just a simple snare drum, stand-up bass, voice, classic vocal combination, and Leon Russell, he looks like a character.
He does look like a character. This was from the album Life Journey, released in April 2014. 353,000 monthly listeners still. He was an American musician and songwriter who was involved with numerous best-selling records during his 60-year career, spanning multiple genres including rock, country, gospel, bluegrass, R&B, southern rock, blues rock, folk, surf, and the Tulsa sound. I thought this had that nice big band orchestral sound, like you said. I love that bass that slides in under his distinct vocals. And he's just got such an original voice. It's like a warm hug from a vagrant that you find hiding in your court. You didn't know that you definitely didn't want it. You didn't know you wanted it. But then when you were done listening to it, you're like, that was kind of weird, but I liked it. So, Seth, what did you think of Leon Russell's version?
Just echoing what you guys said, big band, love it. Wonderful take and upright bass is what I wrote down. So just same as what you guys mentioned.
For me, any kind of bass, being a bass player, that's one line I always pay attention to because that's just really sort of sets a good mood for a song for me.
I love it. Very nice. All right. So, Seth, what is your number 4?
I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Is it Shura Ginsburg?
I'm in a New York state of mind.
So this is from an album called I Will Cover You, released in May of 2023. Shura Ginsburg, with a grand total of 48 monthly listeners. She's an actress, singer, and songwriter who has performed all over the world. What did you like about Shura Ginsburg's version to put her at 4?
Lovely vocals, great guitar work. There was something about this I kept coming back to.
Wow. All right. So, Deej, what did you think of Shura Ginsburg's?
Being someone who does a podcast called Saturday Night Ladies, I'm always going to love female vocalists because they have different ways of singing and different tonal qualities to voice that they can do. So I enjoyed it, but there's just some other ones I like a little bit more.
Yeah, so this is one I did not care for as much as the others. I like the idea of the acoustic guitar. I also appreciated Morgan James' version more. But yeah, this one was just kind of okay for me. I would have appreciated her voice with a piano accompaniment and kind of see where that would have landed for me. But yeah, this one, for some reason, it just didn't connect with me. Do you like to know what my number 4 is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, my number 4 is from Carmen McRae.
Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood.
So this was released on many different studio and live albums in 7-minute plus length, but a single radio edit version was released as part of an EP just last August. Carmen, at 411,000 monthly listeners, is an American jazz singer. She's considered one of the most influential jazz vocalists of the 20th century and is remembered for her behind-the-beat phrasing. So she is such a dynamic vocalist. So I'm hot and cold on the behind-the-beat singing. Seth and I have kind of gone back and forth on this. Like, there's certain artists that I like who do that too, and others I don't so much. And then certain songs that Seth has picked out that he likes like that, and that I don't. However, I think it has to do a lot with the song itself. And I think New York State of Mind lends itself to that behind the beat singing, because you can really just lay on your own horn and kind of do what you want to with the vocals. And I think she just really makes some interesting choices here. I love the way she sings this and the way the song just sits back and lets her do her own thing. It's just such a good version of the song. Smooth and syrupy. What do you think of Carmen McRae's version, Deej?
She was not in my top 5, but she will be mentioned later on in the broadcast.
Good to know.
This is one that I did definitely enjoy, but we'll get to that in that section of the show.
Sounds good. All right, Seth, what did you think of Carmen McRae?
I wrote down fun, jazzy take, very nice version. So it was well put together.
All right, nice. Okay, we have different artists for our first 6 selections in our top 5. And our 5s and our 4s are looking very different. So I can't wait to see where we are going with this. So, Deej, what is your number 3?
Yeah. My number 3 is Peter Cincotti.
Some folks like to get away, take a holiday.
This was a really, really fun version. I had a lot of fun with the piano. There's still some of the original piano work in it, but he just put some extra little touches that I just found very charming. Definitely a more peppy vocal version. He does a rhythm change in the bridge that I found interesting, where everyone's sort of more like a basically a straight time, and he went to more of a skip beat when it came to it was so easy living day by day, and that was just a very interesting touch to not only to highlight the bridge in a slightly different rhythm.
Yeah, he definitely stripped it down more. So, Peter Cincotti, this is from the album Killer on the Keys, released in September of 2023, sitting at 424,000 monthly listeners. He is a jazz singer-songwriter who began playing piano at the age of 3. While in high school, he regularly performed in clubs throughout Manhattan. In 2003, Cincotti's debut album, produced by Phil Ramone, reached number 1 on the Billboard Jazz chart, making Cincotti the youngest musician to do so. Yeah, I love this version. I also loved what he did with the bridge because, like you said, everybody else just kind of made it louder and took a different style to it where he stripped it back down. It almost reminded me of like the 1920s during that part. And then it just went right back into it. Didn't skip a beat. I love it. So curious to know, Seth, what did you think of Peter Cincotti's version?
It's a very Jamie Cullum-esque version. I love this one. The only difference between Jamie Cullum and if he would have done this song is the bass. The bass would have been way different.
Gotcha.
I really, really dug this one. Very good pick.
Nice. Okay, Seth. So I'm interested in here. What is your number 3?
All right. So my number 3 is Joanna Wang.
I don't care if it's Chinatown or on Riverside.
So this is from the album Start From Here, released in 2008. She's at 304,000 monthly listeners, a Taiwanese singer-songwriter and daughter of music producer Bing Wang. So what did you think of Joanna Wang's version?
So I wrote down classic vocals and great piano. It's something relaxing about this take. There's a few that I really just kind of melted away when I listened to it, and that was one of them.
I thought it was more of like a basic piano version. I do love the harmonica surprise in it, though. I thought the harmonica came out of nowhere, and I really thought that was cool. The vocals are okay. It's not the most impressive version here for me, but it's not bad by any means. I just wanted the piano to be a little more front and center, and it was kind of just like took a backseat, and it didn't impress me as nearly as much as some of the other piano versions on the playlist.
I did find her on the list finally.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so very traditional rendition of the song. So nothing really to differentiate it from the original, at least for my ears.
Yeah, that's kind of what my take on it too. But this is crazy. So we currently have 8 different artists. So I kind of love the fact that everybody's getting mentioned here because it's so often like the whole playlist doesn't get talked about. We might cover every artist this time. It's crazy to think about. But okay, are you ready for my number 3?
Yes.
We have our first match. I can't believe it, but we have a match. My number 3 is Peter Cincotti.
Hop a flight to Miami Beach for Hollywood.
Okay, so Peter Cincotti, this version just kept moving up the list. The more I heard it, I'm like, wow, this is good. This is like really good. Just so fascinating by this. He's a jazz piano virtuoso. Before we even get to the vocals, we have a lesson on incredible piano playing. And then the vocals just leave you going, whoa, who is this? So I was extremely impressed with this version, especially for someone I'm not very familiar with. And he just crushed the vocals. He has all kinds of tricks up his sleeves, and I love what he did with that tricky bridge that you mentioned there, Deej. Just stripping it back to almost 20 style before going in back to the big production. For me, this was just simply superb. So love the Peter Cincotti version. And we finally matched going into our top 2s with just one match, but we'll see what happens here. Deej, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is the Velvet Fog himself, Mel Torme.
It was so easy living day by day.
So Mel Torme's version, this is another one that pops up on quite a bit of different albums. The one this is featured on, though, is from an album called A New Album, which was released in 1980. His sense of humor, too, is off the charts. I love Mel Torme. Still has 607,000 monthly listeners. Of course, you mentioned his nickname, the Velvet Fog. What an incredible nickname. An American musician, singer, composer, arranger, drummer, actor, and author. What did you like so much about his version? Put him at 2.
And of course, can't forget that Mel Torme is Judge Harry Stones from Night Court's absolute favorite artist, almost to a stalkery kind of thing. Okay, now it's a jazzy rendition, but he has so many twists and turns. So first, we have the first verse, standard, traditional, and the second verse changes the lyrics. I don't know why he did that, but I thought it was like, oh, that's kind of missing. Maybe it made it more personal to him. Now, you would next think that it would be your traditional third verse. But no, what he does is he gives you the bridge first. And there's a slight stylistic change where it goes a little bit bossa nova. And then we're back to verse 3 where it usually is, and just the orchestrations and the saxophone. He just completely made it his own. So I don't know why he changed the lyrics like that, but it was definitely an interesting take on it.
For sure. Seth, what did you think of Mel Torme's version?
The Velvet Fog, a great take, just wonderful. Something about his vocals just lay right with the song. It just felt right with to have him on the list. So I'm really grateful for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just someone who can hang with that powerful orchestra backing him, and he still makes his presence known. You can very much tell he is in control throughout. The precision with which the tempo changes here are executed, it just doesn't faze him at all. He just sings his way through the difficult highs and lows, and all the while that brass backing him are in full harmony. It just works out so well. This is a great version. So nice pick for number 2 there, Deej.
Oh, and here's the lyric changes.
Go ahead.
I've made it to Mozambique, climbed a mountain peak, drove a racing car, made plans for Tahiti, but that's way too far. But my heart's in the big town, and I don't want to waste more time. And then we're back on to the traditional.
I love it. Shout out Mozambique. It's good stuff.
Seth, what is your...
Yeah. Seth, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is, to match with you guys, Peter Cincotti.
I'm taking the Greyhound on the Hudson River line.
All right. Okay, why did you pick Peter Cincotti for number 2?
There's something about the ease of the vocals. The band really meshes well. The musicianship, the instrumentation is really done well on this song to lay over top of the vocals that are just outstanding.
I agree. It's just a beautifully done version, and for it to finally be the one thing that we've matched on all night here so far. Love it. All right, you ready for my number 2?
Yes.
Okay, my number 2 is the boss, Mr. Bruce Springsteen. Accompanied with Billy Joel. Kind of, maybe that's a cheat, but I don't know. I'll tell you why I don't think it is. This is from the 25th anniversary of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concerts album, released in 2010. Still at 22 million monthly listeners, Bruce is an American singer-songwriter and guitarist, nicknamed The Boss, of course. He has released 21 studio albums spanning 6 decades. Most of his albums feature the E Street Band, his backing band since 1972. Of course, everybody knows Bruce. He is a pioneer of heartland rock, combining commercially successful rock with poetic, socially conscious lyrics that reflect working-class American life. Known for his energetic concerts, some of which last for more than 4 hours. Hey, you get your money's worth, right? This, to me, is just a rare showcase for Bruce's vocals, which is kind of the thing that he gets a lot of flack for. People who don't like Bruce Springsteen point to his voice, that gravel tone in his voice, and they point that out, that's just something that they can't get past. But here, as a cover of a Billy Joel classic, he shines, and he even steps out from behind that gravel to kind of hit those notes he rarely reaches. And I think it's because the pressure's off, you know? And this performance is just fabulous. Even there's an error at the end where they both come in at the same time. but it kind of works here because Bruce his ability to correct that error and just move on from the moment. It's just seamless, and I love this version so much. So, Deej, I'm interested to hear, what did you think of Bruce's version?
Well, I definitely enjoyed it, and I want to include it somewhere, but I'm just trying to. Again, this is your podcast, so I want to stay true to the essence of what the podcast is covers. So this is kind of half a cover. It just didn't feel right to me. That's just my own thing. You can take your leeway with your podcast. I can't. At least I don't feel like it, because I want to respect the wonderful work that you guys do. But yeah, it's a really good. I mean, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How could you resist? They always have very good performances there. And so, yeah, no, as a live version and as a nice thing between two very classic 70s rock powerhouses, it has a lot going for it, for sure. But because it was a duet, I just didn't feel right putting it in.
I completely understand. I get it. For me, the only reason that I saw fit that it would be included is because it is different Bruce. It's laid back, relaxed Bruce, and he's able to go places with his voice in the song that he never does. He usually stays true to his own little rasp. So that's why I got him at 2, but I completely understand where you're coming from there. So, Seth, what did you think of the Boss's version?
I love Bruce Springsteen. I do. And I like this version, but I thought that the vocals were lacking. Actually on both of their ends, in my opinion.
Wow.
I still liked it.
Right.
I actually ranked it pretty high comparatively, but
shocking. Shocks me to hear you say that. But hey, it's okay. This is you did mention, covers, stay true. But hey, it's also cover wars.
yes.
This is where the war comes in. We often disagree, which is part of the fun. All right.
Always
speaking of
disagree at the
fun,
top too.
Always do. Well, I don't know. You're 5 through 3. I have my brain just like melting because after we get off here, I'll tell you where I put your 5 through 3. All right. So we're getting into the thick of it right now with our number ones.
Okay.
So excited to hear, Deej, what is your
Oh,
number
just wait
one?
to hear this one. Mine is Butterbrain.
Seeing all the movie stars with their fancy cars and their limousines.
Wow. I am shocked and chagrined, but I love it at the same time. Why Butterbrain at number 1 for you?
Because it freaking rocks, for one thing. And talk about a completely different take on the song. I mean, you can't get much more different than that.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a little bit of fun with fun with lyrics. Now, unfortunately, Spotify didn't actually have the lyrics included, because there's some changes. I was trying to figure what he was saying. It was like the get high in the Rockies up in the Ellis Greens. I don't know what that. I looked it up. It's either something in Edmonton. It's at a place in Edmonton of all places. It's like you're a New York band. Sing a New Year song. Why would you reference Alberta? But it could have also been not that. Now the New York Post, and the Daily News part was actually a change that Billy Joel made later too. So it's a bit true to the original.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting vocal effect they put on the bridge that just gave us sort of like a different quality shift. That was just, and then it was just a very good take on that. And then, instead of comes down to reality, slap back to reality is a variation that they use. And there's another one where it says out of touch with the something and booze. Again, I couldn't quite understand what they were saying, but just the rocking at the end, really, really high drums, a lot of the vocalists. It was like completely 100% original take rather than going the traditional jazzy route. It was brave, it was wonderful, and I need to listen to more of their stuff. I think I've become a Butterbrain fan.
Nice. Well, I'm very shocked, but I'm also impressed with you just picking out all the different changes, because that's one thing I really didn't pick up on at all, are all the lyrical changes. Mm-hmm. So it just shows how close you are to the song. Mm-hmm. And Butterbrain, this is a band who only has 105 total monthly listeners. Wow. From their 2007 self-titled release, Butterbrain, they are a 9-member New York City-based punk rock funk ska band formed by Aaron Collins of White Trash and Murphy's Law, originally a side project of the 90s funk rock band White Trash. They reunited in 2018, blending their high-energy ska punk with notable members from bands like Inspector 7 and Public Serpents. So, for me, this version was just different. Yes, it was a harmless rock version. I still like that classic piano sound. I'm a punk guy. I love rock and punk and all that good stuff. But for this particular song, I just thought it was a wry little jam. It does nothing to take the song further for me, but I have to admire the homage. They tried, they did their own thing, and I love it. And I love that you have that for number one. That's great.
Yeah. Just what I mentioned is probably why I get a lot of the changes is I am a singer and an actor and a performer. I've been singing pretty much all my life, a lot of musical theater, but there's certain things I like in the music that I like. I just pay more attention to certain technical things, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. That is great. Seth, what did you think of Butterbrain?
I'm certainly grateful that we had a rock version because this kind of needs a rock version. But it just wasn't my favorite, and I can't say anything real negative about it. It just wasn't my favorite. That's all.
Yeah, there wasn't a song on here, a version that I didn't like.
No,
I wish
they're
I
all
could have
good.
found more rock versions to compare and contrast. But yeah, this was just really cool. It's different. Seth, I'm very curious to know, though. What is your number one?
Well, Deej may be a little hurt because my number one is Tony Bennett and Billy Joel.
Oh, wow.
No, not at all.
Another.
I greatly
We're
respect
breaking our
Tony
own
Bennett.
rules here.
So I greatly respect Tony Bennett, and that is, of the two duets, that is the one I prefer.
Yeah.
New York state of mind.
Right on. Well, okay, so Mr. Tony Bennett, I mean, come on. Highly decorated singer-songwriter. This is from the album Playing With My Friends. Bennett Sings the Blues, released in 2001. He also performed the song live with and without Billy Joel numerous times. Couldn't find one without, otherwise I would have included it. Of course, a legendary jazz and pop singer. 2.3 million monthly listeners still and sold over 50 million records worldwide. Seth, why did you include Tony Bennett as your number one choice?
Well, it wasn't because he's one of the best to ever do it. It's because it was timeless, iconic, and oh so good. It sounded so what I was looking for. When, you know what I mean? When I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, this is it, you know? And so for me, that's what it took me there.
I gotcha. All right. Well, for me, I love Tony Bennett. Actually, would have preferred the version where it's just him. I think it kind of takes it away that they're both performing this for me. But this was kind of a little later in his career. His vocals never really got bad. They deteriorated just like Billy's. They were not terrible. You know, you still listen to him and love them. And to hear this around the time Billy released the original, I think would have been quite something. And the only thing I didn't like about this was the whistling. I never liked whistling in songs. That's the one thing that kind of kept it out of entering anywhere near my top 5. But, I mean, you have to respect legends. Tony Bennett's a legend.
So I'm going to guess you don't like The Stranger from the next Billy Joel album.
You know what? You're right. I don't love that song. But what's funny is though, like Peter, Bjorn, and John, I think it's when it's the focus and when it's the point of the song, I like it. But when it's just kind of like in there, yeah, I don't love it.
Instead of an instrument.
Yeah, I need the instrument instead. Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. But yeah, we'll get into more favorite Billy Joel songs here later on.
Yeah.
But
what's the difference between Frank Sinatra? Because usually you're either a Frank Sinatra person or a Tony Bennett person. I'm all for Tony Bennett.
yeah, I mean, Frank Sinatra can put a hit out on you, and Tony Bennett will hug you. He's a big old teddy bear. So you either die or you just are happy all night. Okay. So anyway, so are you ready for my number one?
Yes.
My number one is Alita Adams.
It's fine with me, 'cause I've let it slide.
This is from the album Evolution, released in 1993. She's at 462,000 monthly listeners, a gospel and soul singer and pianist. And some of her contributions include being on the Tears for Fears international chart-topping album, The Seeds of Love. She also had a Grammy-nominated cover of Brenda Russell's hit, Get Here, which was a top 5 hit in both the UK and the US. Adams has been nominated for 4 Grammy Awards as well as 2 Soul Train Music Awards. So the things that Alita Adams can do with her voice, man, it's just vocal acrobatics. Her voice on this version, it should be studied by a team of researchers. The horns are beautiful. It's just the right amount of piano. The choices, though, that she makes with every line, every verse, it's just perfection for me. If somebody came up to me and asked me if there's only one version of the song other than Billy Joel's, you just have to hear which one is it. Without hesitation, I would say this one. So for me, it's Oleta Adams. So Deej, what did you think of her version?
Well, I've loved like a lot of her vocals and all the things she does because again, female vocalist. I have a lot of different heroes with that, and Oleta Adams is one on the jazz side. So, she is in my honorable mentions, which is what we'll get to next.
All right, nice. Seth, what did you think of Oleta Adams' version?
I wrote down voice is gorgeous, relaxed instrumentation. They just did a really good job with this one, so I'm happy you picked it.
Nice. All right, so we're going to get into those honorables now. Deej, if you want to start with your 10 and then go through 6, and we'll just run them down. Go ahead.
All right. Well, number 10 is Oleta Adams. Number 9 is Carmen McRae. Number 8 is Shira Ginsburg. Number 7 is Shirley Bassey. And number 6 is Barbra Streisand.
All right. Interesting here as we get into our honorables versus our 5 favorites. This is very, very interesting stuff here. All right, Seth, what are your 10 through 6? You want to run them down for me real quick?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm writing down.
It's all right. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. My 10 is Shirley Bassey. 9, Oleta Adams. 8 is Barbra Streisand. 7 is Leon Russell, which I hate to rank that low, by the way. And then as well as Mel Torme, The Velvet Fog, at 6. I hate to rank that low as well.
Yeah, our cover war is going to be very interesting here. Okay, here's mine. My number 10, Mel Torme. My number 9, Morgan James. My number 8 was Barbra Streisand. My number 7, Shirley Bassey. And my number 6, this is one we haven't mentioned yet, Skylar Aston of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. So the only reason that didn't hit my top 5 was because it was just too short. I mean, I wanted it to be a full song, and I didn't feel like it lived up without being the full version. So, Seth, we have our work cut out for us. We have a very, very clear number 1. Number 1, Peter Cincotti is the only one that hit our top 5. All 3 of us, we all had different other artists. Peter Cincotti is the only one in our top 5, in each of our top 5s to match. So
he's got to be number 1. Would make so much of a difference of everything. It's gonna be.
Oh, it's gonna be super different here. So then the next up we've got Mel Torme. That was your number 2, Deej. Mm-hmm. Seth had Mel Torme at number 6, and I had Mel Torme at number 10. So we're definitely gonna put a score here on Mel Torme. Next up, though, we have Leon Russell. Leon Russell, you had at 4, and Seth had at 7. So we've got Leon. I did not have Leon in my top 10. I hated that I didn't have him in my top 10. Just like, I like so much these other versions a little bit better. You also had Morgan James at 5. I've got Morgan James at 9. So that's 14. But then we look into our honorables themselves. Did you have Barbara at 6? Seth, you have Barbara at 8. I've also got Barbara at 8. So we can put a question mark on that one. I got to say, though, I really think we should go with who's in our top 5. We also have Oleta Adams. Okay, Oleta Adams was my number 1. Deej at 10. Seth at 9. Mm-hmm. So I also want to throw Oleta. No, it's okay. I mean, we all had Oleta in our top 10. So I think we need to consider Oleta. And I also like Mel Torme, as we all had Mel Torme in our top 10. So here's my choices, and you guys, you can have different ones. It's up to you. I mean, I'm not going to take offense. It's okay. I think Mel Torme slides in at 2, and I think Oleta Adams slides in at 3. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. Deej, what do you think?
Well, I guess I'm the cheese that stands alone on the butter brain version.
Butter brain,
which
yeah.
is-
Neither
which
of
is
us
fine.
had them in the top 10, unfortunately. I did like that there was a rock take, though,
It's just
however.
the way it happens. I know, again, different people have very different tastes. I will never say that your thing is bad just because I don't like it. So, but yeah, no, it was one that I enjoyed. There were other, as you saw, she was my number 10, so it's not like I didn't enjoy it. There was just some other performance that I like more. But she is a respectable artist, so I am definitely not gonna say ew. I'm gonna say it wasn't my choice, but it was still a valid choice.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. Leon Russell is the other one that I think is in the conversation. Now, I did not have Leon Russell in the top 10. I do think that should play some sort of weight. However, you and Seth both had Leon Russell names. Deej, you had Leon at 4. Seth, you had Leon at 7. So Leon's the other one in the discussion. I still think, I think number 2, we can just go ahead and say is Mel Torme.
Yes.
And then
That's
I think the war is going to be between Alita Adams and Leon Russell. Keep in mind, Alita's in all of our top 10s. Alita's at 10 for Deej, 9 for Seth, 1 for myself. And then Leon Russell, 4 for Deej. And Seth, you had Leon at 7. Seth, I want to hear your thoughts.
I don't want to put up a fight, so what are you and Deej thinking?
Hey, this is
This
Cover
one.
Wars, okay?
I
Deej,
know,
what
but this
do
one
you
is
think
a
of
special.
what do you think of
special
the Leon
edition.
Russell versus Alita Adams?
I gotta stand behind my pick. So again,
Hey, it's your song, it's your pick.
much respect for Lita Adams, but I just love all the just all the different twists, the big band and his
I can't
voice
disagree
and
with you,
and the
yeah.
board and I love bass as a bass player. I've never played a stand up bass, but there's always a nice smooth sound to that. So it's just
Yeah.
the orchestra. Normally, Leon Russell would put it over the top. Would be the orchestrations of it, or the arrangements.
Okay. I'm not going to fight you. This is your song, and I totally agree with your take on that. So we're going to go ahead and stamp it. Here are your top 3 versions of New York State of Mind by Billy Joel. At number 3, we've got Leon Russell. At number 2, Mel Torme. And the number 1 version of New York State of Mind by Billy Joel is Peter Cincotti.
Yay!
Okay, we did it. We got it in there. Nice work, everybody. So, so many different versions we covered. I can't believe it. So, this is going to be great. All right, so now we're going to get into a little bit of a song bio. I'm just going to say a few things. And Deej, if you have anything to add at any time, please do. I do have a trivia question for you as well.
Okay.
New York State of Mind is a song by Billy Joel from his 4th studio album, Turnstiles, released in 1976. Although it was never released as a single, which is shocking to me. When I read that, I'm like, really? It is both critically acclaimed and amongst the most covered of Joel's songs. And that's why we did it. So in October 2001, he performed it at the Concert for New York City, the benefit concert for members of the New York City Fire and Police Department, as well as the loved ones and families of first responders killed during the September 11 attacks. He reprised the song and theme, playing it during his set at 12-12-12, the concert for Sandy relief at Madison Square Garden in New York City on December 12th, 2012, when he changed the lyrics to include Breezy Point in Oceanside. So very somber times, but very meaningful impact on such an important song. Did you have anything else to add, Deej, before I get into your trivia question?
Yes. Well, it's sort of it's a bit of a where the song places in the trajectory of Billy Joel's career. So, what a lot of people don't really pay attention to is his actual first release was an album called Cold Spring Harbor, which is an album of his I love. But the trouble with that particular album is they mastered it at the wrong speed, so the vocals were completely destroyed. And he was very. That's been redone since then, remastered, and there's so many great songs on that, especially one instrumental thing called Nocturne. So after that was Piano Man, and so after the experience of that album, he took off to Los Angeles, and that's where he got the inspiration for Piano Man, because he was actually playing in a piano bar in Los Angeles. And then next album was Turnstile, so he was still in LA then, but this is when he started wanting to transition back to New York. I'm just going to quickly pull up the track list here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Turnstile track lists.
Yeah, I didn't know that about the recording
Yeah.
speed. That's cool.
Yeah, it was like
Not
it
cool
was
for him at the time, but very
no,
very cool.
it was actually quite devastating for him. And it just and there's different things with the different disputes had with the different producers. Okay, so where's my track list? Okay, so we start with the very first track on this album, "Say Goodbye to Hollywood." So this was the time when he was ready. Okay, I've done LA. I'm ready to go back to New York. With a quick stop by Summer Highland Falls, which is I think it's a suburb of part of Manhattan. And then New York State of Mind is the fourth track. So this is where he was transitioning. I've done LA, going back to New York, going back to his roots, which is why, just taking the Greyhound on the Hudson River line. And the other thing about this album as well, the song Prelude, Angry Young Man, is the song he always opens his concert with. And there's also another great semantic song, because he's a great storyteller, like Steven's from Italian Restaurant, very much a classic. But this is an early one called Miami 2017, Seeing the Lights Go Out on Broadway. And so this is sort of about a future disaster in New York. So everyone who lived in New York took off to Miami. So it was when he was just the transitional nature. He had his time, Say Goodbye to Hollywood, which is another great track, very much inspired by the Wall of Sound, production style. So it's just New York State of Mind was probably just where he is like, yep, I gotta go home because this was different, but gotta go back to my roots. He is a Long Island guy.
Well, thank you so much for that backstory. I did not know a lot of that stuff in there. My trivia question for you is Muppets related. Are you ready for this, Steve?
Oh, well, I love the Muppets.
Okay, well, here we go. So Floyd Pepper, accompanied by Dr. Teeth and Zoot, performed New York State of Mind on The Muppet Show, first on the UK and with different choreography, the US edition. A recording of this version sung by Jerry Nelson was included on the 1978 album The Muppet Show 2. A later interpretation, however, by Jim Henson as Ralph the Dog appeared on which album? A. Beaker's Street Beats. B. The Swedish Chef Wasn't Bjorn Yesterday. C. Old Brown Ears is Back. Or D. Statler and Waldorf's Greatest Jazz Hits.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to take a guess at this one. Yeah, this is whoa. I want to say Old Brown Ears is back.
Well, that's correct. Old Brown Ears is back.
Yes, good.
Always
yes,
go
that's
with
Ralph.
your gut. So that is correct. Right. Very nice.
Ralph is definitely a classic Muppet. So
very true. So we're going to get into the TikTok song poll results. Every Friday, I pose a question to TikTok, and I ask something about the song that we're getting ready to cover. And that question this time was, what is your favorite Billy Joel song? Believe it or not, my favorite Billy Joel song is Sleeping with the Television On. That's my personal favorite.
Oh, that's a great one.
And it's not a single either. So, Mr. Seth, what is your favorite Billy Joel song? You got one?
So it may change from time to time because I love so much of his catalog. But right now, I'd say Vienna.
Oh, nice. It's my second favorite and also my third favorite sausage. Deej, your favorite Billy Joel song? Do we have
I'm with Seth on this one. It's Vienna. It's just so meaningful, and it's one of those. This is one of those song I want played at my funeral songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Well,
it's
the
really
darker version of the lyric, "It waits for you, Vienna waits for you." Yes,
yes, exactly. And what the song was actually more about is his estranged father actually moved away to Vienna, and there's one point when they're on tour in Europe where he briefly reconnects with his father. Actually, there's that great documentary they have about Billy Joel that was done for HBO. But another take on it, Liberty DeVito's autobiography is definitely worth a read, or in my case, I didn't listen to it because it's more they look at Billy Joel for someone with inside the band with all the different twists and turns that they took. And Liberty DeVito is like one of the greatest drummers of all time. And actually, because I do SNL podcasts, there is actually an SNL connection between Billy Joel and Saturday Night Live. And that is Lenny Pickett plays with Billy on tour.
Nice.
Whereas saxophone.
Love me some Lenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm a bit of I consider myself sort of a Billy Joel aficionado, definitely, because as an artist, he's just meant so much to me. Although my favorite album of all time is Nylon Curtain.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that one is just very Beatlesque, different types of songs. Pressure, which was also done on Zoe's playlist. It's a very funny effect. But Vienna is one that
we have the Goodnight Saigon SNL connection too.
Yes, right. Now I was trying to figure out that sketch. Was he basically doing this just to get out of paying the bill?
I don't know, but it was so good. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. So some of the things people said, some of them weren't nice, but then I'm going to give you the things that people said that were nice, and then just some of these deep cuts, Deej, I think you'll appreciate. But when I posed this question, what is your favorite Billy Joel song? We had some Weisenheimers out there. We had some say, Piano Man is the only song I liked. I've never been a fan. Then don't comment. Then I had 2 comments that said, none of them. And then somebody put, none of them, I can't stand them. I'm like, okay, well then don't comment. You don't need to answer the question. You can just keep scrolling. But then I had somebody put, whichever one is on. How do you choose? You don't. And I'm like, well, for this game, you do. So here are some of the things that people said. Our number one, we had a tie for first between Piano Man and Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. And then we had a 3-way tie for second between Vienna, You May Be Right, and Downeaster Alexa. Got a lot of love as well. And then we had several people, You're My Home, Goodnight Saigon, Allentown, Don't Ask Me Why, Zanzibar, The Ballad of Billy the Kid. Somebody put The Ballad of Billy the Kid, specifically the live at MSG version, and then Only the Good Die Young. So everything else I'm about to mention is just one mention of it, but we got a lot of them. My Life, our friend Victor, who appeared on our show, SNN contributor as well, he put, We Didn't Start the Fire, of course, yes. Keeping the Faith, still rock and roll to me. And then we've got Easy Money, Miami 2017, Until the Night, Leningrad, Matter of Trust, All About Soul, And So It Goes, Uptown Girl, Angry Young Man, Captain Jack, She's Got Away, Summer Highland Falls. Close to the Borderline, somebody put I'm Still Standing and was corrected several times that that's an Elton John song. Stormfront, and finally, Always a Woman, which I love his respect for women. A lot of the songs that he chooses are just about how he loves women, but he never belittles them, which obviously you shouldn't be doing. So he
a weird thing with that song, though, is there's the line, she takes care of herself. And at the back in the 70s when this was out, there was a commercial for a product called Geritol because she takes care of herself.
I remember hearing about that.
In my brain, I kept going, she takes care of herself, and she takes Geritol.
Oh my gosh.
Big shot. When I was a kid, the lyric, Dom Perignon on your hand, a spoon up her nose, confused me as a child. But as an adult, who knows more about cocaine,
yeah,
I now know what the spoon reference is.
All right, Deej. So this is normally around the time where we would just I would read the lyrics. I would do a dramatic read of the lyrics. But in lieu of reading the lyrics, you requested that you actually sing your version of the song. Are you still up for doing that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I won't do the entire thing because we just won't get what the actual lyrics are, but it's something that...
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, here we go.
Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood. Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. But I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. I've seen all the movie stars and the fancy cars and the limousines. Been high in the Rockies, under the evergreens. But I know what I'm needing. and I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Times, the Daily News comes down to reality, and it's fine with me 'cause I've let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown or on Riverside. I don't have any reasons. I've left them all behind. 'Cause I'm in a New York state of mind.
Very nicely done. I love it. You got that high note in there and everything. So
It's
very
just
well
right-
done. I
it's-
love
it's
it.
just right in my range.
Oh, it's perfect. Okay,
Very
so
nice.
now we're going to switch things up just a little bit. We're going to go to some imperfect with my parody here. I don't know if you're familiar, but I do a parody every episode of the song that we're covering. I'm not going to tell you the title of this parody, but you'll figure it out as we go along here. Here is my parody of New York State of Mind. Some folks like a big buffet or a juicy steak on a slab of wood. Eat all night while down at the beach, 'cause the view is good. But I'm taking an Uber to a place where I will dine. I'm in a pulled pork state of mind. I've seen all the grills and bars with their extra chars on their fine cuisines. Been high at an Outback and at an Applebee's. But I know what I'm eating, and I'm wearing a bib this time. I'm in a pulled pork state of mind. I was so hungry almost every day. Out of lunch, didn't have too much food. But now I need a little meat intake, like some smoky bones for that barbecue. It comes down to my appetite, how much I consume, how much I will bite. Don't care if I go downtown or I drive all night. I don't have reservations. I guess I'll eat outside. I'm in a pulled pork state of mind. All right, well, there's mine. That's the pulled pork state of mind.
I had to cover up my mouth. I was
All
like,
right.
once you said pulled pork, I was that close to a spit take.
Oh, good. I'm glad. So
Which
there was
is the ultimate compliment, by the way.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
luckily, I was able to contain it because otherwise my monitor and microphone and everything would have been completely
Once
askew.
I had pulled pork, I'm like, oh, I can write this. I got the rest of this. Okay, good.
Oh, for me,
So
it would be a
we do have one more piece of
brisket state of
business.
mind. Sorry?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with this gas station in the States, but there's this place called Buc-ee's.
Yep.
That is starting to pop up everywhere, and it's like the largest gas station ever, and it is known for their brisket. And whenever we drive through a Buc-ee's, got to stop in and get ourselves.
Although my
brisket,
boyfriend is
so
a
it's
big
good stuff.
fan of pulled pork, especially on poutine. Because I am
Ooh,
Canadian.
hey, there's some more
We are
Canadian
Canadian.
references. I love it.
Yeah, that's why I'm Canadian. I'm an old Canadian broad.
No, I love it. That's great. Okay, so we do have one more matter of business to attend to, and that is the covers versus the original. So, Deej, I'll ask you first. Are any of these covers better than the original Billy Joel song?
I wouldn't say better. I would say comparable and different.
Gotcha. Definitely different. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Seth,
Especially
what about you?
especially on
Are
my
any of
list.
these covers better? Right, yeah. Any of these covers better than the original for you, Seth?
Not even close. I mean, the original is all the way. I mean, what can you say about it? It's so iconic.
Yeah, so I absolutely loved the Oleta Adams version. I thought if there was one that could compete with it at all, it would be that one. But I mean, we're talking about Billy Joel here, and this song is just too iconic and too great, and the original is so well done. I gotta say no as well. So 3 no's for the covers being better than the original. So before we go into some plugs here, Seth, what will we be covering next week on Cover Wars?
It's a little known song that there's 2 ways of pronouncing it, so I want to say both ways. To Make You Feel My Love or Make You Feel My Love.
Hey, isn't that a Billy Joel song? Didn't we just do a Billy Joel song?
No.
Wait, who was the original artist?
No.
But Billy Joel did it. Okay, so Garth Brooks
did do a cover, yes.
There's so many
versions.
versions.
There is a backstory, so I hope you do pull that out. Yes.
Who is the original artist?
Who do you think it is?
To Make You Feel My Love.
Bob Dylan, man.
Oh, yeah, Dylan. The guy who wrote everything. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
No, I should have known that. All right, I'm going to cut all this part off. It makes me sound stupid. No, that's all right. Yes, To Make You Feel My Love. I do love that song, though. So, before we get out of here, Deej, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for putting up with us. And thank you for being on Cover Wars. Where can the people find you?
Well, just before we get to that, I just want to make one mention of a different Billy Joel cover you should pay attention to. The old dad jam band did an excellent version of Scenes from a Italian Restaurant with Weird Al on accordion. And that was an incredible cover of that.
I think I remember this. I think I remember this.
It's a middle-aged dad jam band.
Middle-aged dad jam band. Yes. Okay, so Ken, all the guys from the state and gal from the state, Carrie, I love Ken's voice so much. He could be like a lead singer of a band if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Ken's voice is so good. But yes, I do remember seeing that version. Yes, and that is a great version. I love it.
Well, now you have completed your collection. Yeah, you have completed your collection of the Wacky Notion Productions family. So I'm the producer, editor, creator. The first one was We Heart Hater, which is all about the wonderful Bill Hader, who's finally getting to do his horror movie. I was so excited to hear that this week.
Yes, I did see that news. Yep.
Yeah, so that's We Heart Hater. Currently, we're switching between season 33 of Saturday Night Live with season 1 of 2 of Documentary Now. So just to mix things up a bit. And the other one I created because Sherry, who you've had on the show, she used to do a water cooler after show for the SNL Hall of Fame podcast, which ended. And I had this idea, and I realized, wait, we need Sherry back on the podcast here. So I offered, hey, Saturday Night Ladies, do you want to do this? And then I think our second episode or so, we had Demi. And as soon as Debbie was done with, hey, Demi, let's have you join us as a permanent co-host. So it was, I have a lot of great people to work with. Editing sometimes, so I think the most challenging editing experience was when you guys were on our show, because trying to do 5 different streams of people with all that is, but very slowly and surely I'm becoming a better editor.
Task, yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah, because that's no one else knows how to do it.
Well, good.
But that's okay.
You're doing great.
Those are my two things. I mean,
your shows are fantastic, and we loved having all your co-hosts.
Yeah. So We Heart Hater is just over a year old. My first podcast, which we go every other week. And I never saw myself taking on a second podcast, but with Sherry being available and I have this idea. And like I mentioned in our first episode, there's a lot of great SNL podcasts out there, but it's mostly guys. So I wanted to have, we get women as much as possible. We all welcome any chosen gender that you have. We just finished our series on the female artists we love from each decade, which you guys were part of our very first episode. And we're looking forward.
Thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure.
It was fun. And we're taking a week off. So when Saturday Night Live starts again this next Saturday, we're back in action. So it's an interesting journey. I love doing this, and I love you guys as a podcast. And thank you for having all my people on. It's been great. And Shari has been such an inspiration. Like even at the time when the used vocal Bill Hader with the connection with Rob Reiner, I was really having a hard time dealing with it. I was like able to get Demi and Shari on Discord to help me talk through it. So I've not only feel I'm making some really good podcasts, I've made some really good friends, including you guys, who I now consider part of my close friends in the podcast world.
Well, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. And it's such a pleasure having all of you on the show as guests. And thank you for joining us as well. Seth, where can the fine folks find us?
Before I say, I want to say, Deej, thank you for coming on. And what a great song pick. My goodness. It's my favorite song we've covered so far. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
you can find us at Cover Wars Podcast on YouTube. Yes. Cover Wars on TikTok and Facebook, and coverwarspodcast@gmail.com.
Very nice. Okay, well, if you're ever out there and you're all alone and you don't know where to go for songs covered by artists other than the original, Seth and I, and sometimes Deej, we got you covered. Bye, everybody.
Bye.